Hello, so for today we will be going on the topics of shaping curves. So first, I want to show the difference between two type of spline. Okay, so first of all we have our spline feet and also the other one is spline CV or spline control vertices. So as you can see here, I have this two spline feed point and another one is spline control vertices with 4 points I already allocated here. Okay, so first of all, this is the spline feed and I already opened the snap to intersection, this point, and I just choose this point that I already put here. Okay, then enter. Okay, so this is the spline feed point. As you can see, if we select this, you can see that we have 4 feed point, which is this 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now I will show the difference with spline control vertices. We can go to the draw tools here and then select this spline CV. Okay, select this first point, second point, third point, and the fourth one. And when you finish, just press enter. Okay, as you can see, we can see the major difference here. This is the spline feed point and the other one is control vertices. So for control vertices, we have this line guide here and the point that we pick will be the guide here. But with feed point, it will go through the point that we pick. So that's the difference between spline feed point and spline control vertices. Okay, and also if let's say you want to change your type of spline, you can just, when you select your spline, you can just select the arrow here and you can change between feed point and also control vertices, and you can see it will change your spline into control vertices, but the point will be different as your spline is at this point. And you can also do the same with control vertices to change to feed point. But as you can see, the feed point for the control vertices will be only 2, as this is the 2 point that the line goes through. We also have the tools to modify the spline. So we can just go to the modify tabs here, and then you can find this pencil and spline icon here, and you can just click on this spline edit, or if you want to put it on the command bar, you can just type SPE and it will show the spline edit. Okay, first our spline feed point. Okay, we have a few options here. We have the close option. Okay, close option basically it will change the endpoint to connect both of it. So we can just click close and you can see that this will connect the endpoint here. Okay, because this is the control vertices, I will undo this, exit, I will change it back to feed point, and I'll do the same to this control vertices. Okay, now we edit it back, and when we close, it will connect the endpoint here and endpoint here to become a closed loop. Open it back. Okay, for join, if we have another spline, we can uh, connect their endpoint to make a single spline. Okay, and also we can edit the vertex. Okay, this is for the control vertices, and when we click on the vertex, it will automatically change this to the control vertices. So what we can do, we can elevate the order. Okay, basically for elevating the order, we add more vertices. So if let's say I put 6, you can see that it creates here more points. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, and the other one on this right side. Okay, and edit vertex is for control vertices, and the feed data, okay, is for the feed point. So you can choose add. Okay, basically add is we want to add more spline from the endpoint. So if I add this point here, you can see that it add the line or spline here. So if you want to exit, just press enter. And also you can delete the point. Okay, this point and this point, this point and this point. Okay, you can see that we can delete the feed point by choosing the delete here. We also have king. So basically king is if you want to add more feed point. You can see that there is another cursor here on the line on the spline. Okay, so if I move, it will move according the spline. So if I just left click, you can see that it adds more feed point. So when you finish that, you can just press enter. We also have move to move the feed point, and also the tolerance. Okay, so for the tolerance, we can change whether our spline want to go through this feed point, or it want to have a little bit offset between the point and the spline. So we can just exit. Okay, we can also convert this spline into polyline by choosing this option. And if we want to undo any changes from our feed point, we can also do that. If you undo, you can see that it will revert back to the option before. So if we click exit, it will accept our changes. Okay, up next we have the blend curves tools. So if you want to find the blend curve tools, you can go to the modify tools here and go to the fillet icon. Just click the drop down arrow, and then you can find the blend curve here. So basically the blend curve is you want to make a smooth spline between two endpoint of open curve. Okay, so I have these two types of here. We have this spline of curve here, and also we have two straight line but on different elevation. Okay, so when we click on that, it will ask to select the first object. So this is our first object, and this is our second object. So when we click that, you can see that it will create a curve to connect between the first object endpoint and the second object endpoint. And by default, it will change to control vertices. You can also change this to feed point, and we will do another one. Okay, this time I will write the command. You can type blend. Okay, and then we pick our first curve here, and then our second curve. Okay, you can see because our endpoint is around this point here, and our another endpoint is around here, it will create a smooth line to connect between these two spline instead of just creating a single straight line that is not smooth. Okay, for our last topic, I will go through on how to create an ellipse. So we have two options to create an ellipse. We have first is ellipse from center point, and the other one is ellipse from end axis. Okay, so we will go to the center point here first. So in order to create an ellipse or draw an ellipse, you can go to the draw tools here, and then you can first choose the center. So by center, we have to select our center of ellipse first. So I have our few points here. Okay, this number 1 is our first point, and our second point is on the number 2. Okay, so you can see that if we select the third point on the point number 2, it will create a circle. Okay, now we have to specify the height in order to create the ellipse. So if I click on the third intersection, it will create a shape of ellipse based on the middle point. So number 1 is the middle point, this is our n-axis, and this is the bottom height. Okay, that is the ellipse from center point, and we have the other one is ellipse from n-axis. Okay, so our n-axis right now is from the intersection number 1. So for this method, we don't use the center point or the mid point. So first select the n-axis, okay, and then we specify the other n-axis, or we can also specify the distance. Okay, now you can see that it creates a ellipse here based on the both endpoint. Now same, we can specify the distance. Okay, now there is the difference between creating from the center point and also creating from the n-axis. Thank you.